There she is. It's Lord Zash's apprentice. Surely she knows.
You wouldn't tell us if she did.
Warpain's Brigan Iswis Buidan.
Still, it doesn't hurt to ask, does it?
Colonel, let it rest.
I will not let it rest. Everyone knows Lord Zash was at the party when Scotia was killed, and yet everyone knows she killed him. She somehow devised a way of being in two places at once. If I let it rest, we'll all be dead.
Don't be silly. I'm the one who killed Scotia.
Now you're the one who's being silly.
I wouldn't underestimate her, Colonel. She looks dangerous enough to me.
But a Dark Lord of the Sith? She's only an apprentice, Calaveras. Please, you must tell me. How did Zash kill Darth Scotia?
Lord Zash is innocent.
Clearly she's not going to tell you, Colonel. Let it rest.
Fine then, fine. But I'm warning you, Calaveras. Lord Zash is becoming too powerful too quickly. Since when has anyone in the history of the Sith committed a murder so brazenly, yet made it appear that she was somewhere else the entire time? It's enough to wake the Emperor, I tell you.
Perfect timing, apprentice. I just met with that insufferable Thanaton, and I have good news.
Who is this Darth Thanaton?
Darth Thanaton sits just below the Dark Council in authority. He commands me, he commands you. Scotia was his little pet, but the other council members were more impressed with our little sleight of hand. You would have been proud of me. I went into a reprimand, but I emerged a Darth.
Do I get a promotion too?
For now, you remain my capable apprentice. However, a Darth can raise an apprentice to a lord, so your prospects just improved. Remember the map you found on Korriban that pointed us to the power of Tulak Horde? The first piece of that artifact, that power, is here on Drummond Cass. This piece is in the deepest chamber of the Dark Temple. Scotia always hoarded the key to the chamber like a Hutt hoards his credits. Now I have Scotia's title, his chambers, his research, and his key. He always said I would enter the Dark Temple over his rusting corpse. However, I won't be the one to go into the Dark Temple. You will.
Why me?
Before I went to Korriban to choose an apprentice, a furious apparition awakened in the Dark Temple, implacable in its anger, murdering all who trespassed on the innermost chamber. But I had a dream. An apprentice of low origin humbled himself, or herself as it happened, before the apparition, pacifying it. That's why you and your peers were chosen.
Wait, you want me to bow to this apparition?
You must go into the temple and face the apparition. And when you do, I believe that your humility will be the key. Still, I want you to know, I'm not certain you're the one from my dream. I fear I may be sending you to your death.
I eat apparitions for dinner.
You have a wonderfully deranged mind, and you're right. Tulak Horde's power awaits us both. We must not lose sight of this goal. Use this glyph to enter the innermost chamber of the Dark Temple. Humble yourself before the apparition, and bring back the piece of the artifact.
This
would never have happened on my watch. Ah, my lord, it's good to see that the Sith haven't let things slide. Not like the rest of this circus of an empire. First, it's slave rebellions in the jungle, then this. We wouldn't have allowed these kinds of things 30 years ago.
Could you try to explain things from the beginning?
I was sent to this construction site to investigate unusual behavior among the droids. I wasn't here long when one of the units attacked me. I barely escaped with my life, but worse than that, I found this transmitter on the droid.
What's so bad about finding a transmitter?
These are not Imperial-issued transmitters. They're being used to control the droids and receive data from them in return. I warned my superiors what would happen if they continued to be lax about this planet's security. Someone, an independent interest, a rogue Sith Lord, is using these droids to broadcast Cass City's schematics to an off-planet location.
I don't have time for this.
That kind of lackadaisical attitude is what's bringing this empire down. We need to get those transmitters. If we can remove enough of them from the droids, it'll make the data they're sending unintelligible. The sooner we get those transmitters out, the better. This information can't end up in the hands of our enemies. Already? And you have the transmitters?
Don't act too surprised. I'll think you had no faith in me.
You're right. I owe you thanks. If you'll give me a moment, I'll upload the data to High Command and we'll see what's what. This is worse than I ever would have imagined. Lord Grathan's behind this. He has to be.
Could you try to explain things from the beginning?
He's covered his tracks well. We won't be able to prove it, but Lord Grathan has been sending security codes and planetary readouts off-world. Everything an invading army would need. Major Shellister is already en route to the probable invasion site with every soldier he can find. They'll meet you just across the bridge. Hurry.
Major Shellister? Captain Eisen asked me to come by. He was under the impression we were being invaded.
Captain Eisen was right. Paranoia paid off. Over the last 3 days, a series of transmissions left Drummond Cast and were received by ships orbiting a nearby asteroid. These transmissions contained safe landing coordinates for the planet's surface and security codes to bypass the orbital defenses.
I've already heard most of this from Captain Eisen. The question is, who's behind the invasion?
Of course. I just wanted to be thorough. Several hours ago, small shuttles built to avoid sensor detection began to land and deliver troops to the planet's surface. These troops are brutal alien mercenaries of the exiled Lord Titonus. Students of Sith politics will remember she was the rebel who declared her own kingdom on Begarin.
That is such a good idea. Note to self. Find planet to conquer.
Preferably not this one. We have our hands full already. Lord Titonus has judged her timing perfectly. With so many of our forces off-planet, it is possible she could take Kar City if she lands her entire mercenary army. We must stop her shuttles from landing and beat back her forces. I've thrown every resource I have down there already. Now it's up to you.
Lord Titonus's invasion has been stopped.
And Lord Titonus herself slain. Word is already spreading across Drummond Cast. We'll never be able to prove Lord Grathan was behind the transmissions that allowed her invasion, but it doesn't matter. Everyone who matters knows the truth, and Grathan is already losing influence and followers.
The game of Sith is fun. Especially when you're on top.
As you say, my lord.
Can you sense it, my lord? Something out there? I wish it were in my head, but I know it's real. Please excuse me. It's these long nights, excavating relics near the Dark Temple. I'm Major Swain Lothar, Imperial Reclamation Service. My team uncovered several significant artifacts at a nearby dig. That's when things started going wrong.
I'm dying of suspense. Really.
I'm sorry, it's just that I can hardly make sense of it myself. First, it was strange noises from the temple, then figures lurking nearby. My team didn't like it, but I told them to push on. Now they're days overdue, and I owe a report to Lord Duan. But I can't go out there. I need someone to find them, make sure the artifacts make it.
I don't have a weak stomach.
Wish I could say the same for myself. My team's still in those caves. Whatever's happened, please bring those relics to Lord Duan. He's overseeing a small camp by the Dark Temple.
I've only a moment to rest. Those things from the Dark Temple are attacking again. Jez thinks they're drawn to the artifacts. I bet he's right. They went berserk the second we packed everything up to leave. It's time to make a stand. If those crazies want our relics, they'll have to kill us first.
Your archaeologist team is dead. Killed for the relics they uncovered. I have them now.
Interesting. The Dark Temple's presence continues to surprise and fascinate. I'll quarantine the artifacts for future study. A shame we lost the whole team. At least it wasn't a total loss. After all, we got what we came for.
Just make sure people know who helped you.
I'll tell the Reclamation Service to name a hallway after you. Whatever secrets these pieces hide, we'll find them. Thank you.
Do you dare approach the great Nil Venerus, Lord of the Sith, Master of the Undying Darkness? Answer me. What insolence brings you to this place, slave?
You don't look like a Sith Lord, and you wear a slave collar.
What? You're not afraid of me? You aren't a mindless puppet like the rest of them? I don't understand.
Of course I'm not a puppet.
Then whatever it is that's doing this is losing its hold. I was part of an expedition sent by the Empire to measure strange activity in the Dark Temple. But soon after we entered, we all became different people. I became the mighty Lord Venerus, and the others became my obedient followers and servants.
Could you try to explain things from the beginning?
We were gathering data for the Empire, and then we were all suddenly possessed. It's strange that you seem to be unaffected. In fact, it's strange to find you here at all. I thought the Imperials gave up sending people in here. What exactly are you doing here?
I was sent after your expedition.
So, the Imperials haven't given up on getting their precious data, after all. This is lucky. You see, ever since I came to my senses, I've been worried that my followers will begin to doubt my leadership. I can't lose my power. I can't go back to being a slave. But maybe we can help each other.
You have my complete, undivided attention.
All I ask is that you find the symbols of Lord Venerus's power. They were looted from his tomb by the people possessed by Venerus's enemies. The symbols will help me reinforce my followers' belief in me, lock them in their dream.
It seems you've only left me the one option if I want that data.
Please, just think a while about my offer. Be careful. Venerus's old enemies will put up a good fight. My network of spies reports that you crushed my enemies underfoot and found the symbols of power I requested.
We have a deal. I expect you to honor it.
I had not forgotten. I, too, have been very busy. Here is the data my servants collected before the temple transformed them. Let the Empire make of it what they will.
Enjoy your empire while it lasts.
Actually, that reminds me. There's one last itty-bitty little thing you can do. You see, power is useless without subjects. So, I'd be grateful when you turn in the data, you'd encourage the Imperials to send more expeditions my way.
You're really every bit as conniving as the real thing. You know that?
Yes. I do think I've finally found my true calling. I can assure you, my gratitude, if you send more slaves to be my followers, will not be insubstantial.
Ah, the only thing more powerful than the Dark Temple. Any luck getting that data?
You have no idea what I had to go through to get this.
Hey, you actually came through. Can't say I was expecting that. Can't say it's not a relief. Now we can finally stop sending expeditions in there, wasting all those slaves who should be building monuments to the Empire.
Slaves shouldn't be collecting data anyway.
My superiors may feel differently, but I tend to agree with you on that point. Anyway, I believe that concludes our business here. Goodbye then, and thanks for the data. Your service to the Empire will not be forgotten.
The Sith throw flesh endlessly at what they cannot control. And here you are, blood of my blood. Here you are.
What are you talking about?
Ah, you don't know me. Has our family fallen so far that the daughter of my daughters does not know the name of Calig, the name so long revered in the annals of the Sith? You are my descendant, By how many generations, I do not know. But know this. Your strength in the Force has awakened me from my stupor.
I thought I was crazy.
Do not mock me, child. You do not even begin to understand who you are dealing with. When the weaklings of this planet trespassed my tomb, I rose, resuming my former life. This temple became my kingdom, and I was once more a lord of the Sith. But when you first grasped the hilt of your lightsaber, I knew my hour had come and gone. That your strength, not mine, would return our family to glory.
But I'm a former slave.
That is my shame. I was once one of the greatest lords of the Sith. If I'd been wiser, I could have secured my family's greatness. But I let down my guard and was betrayed by a man called Tulak Hord, whom I trusted as a friend.
Places amins wajhajs fools, gawan tida seek from Tauhans.
Ha! Your master is dead, beast. You serve the child of Khalid now. Flesh of my flesh, you should teach your servant to obey.
I will deal with him as I see fit.
Fair enough. I only caution you not to take obedience for granted. In restoring our bloodline to glory, you must not make the same mistake. Treachery is the Sith's endless game. You must win it.
Don't worry about me.
Beware your master. Beware your apprentice. Never be taken by surprise. Do these things, and you will be unstoppable. But you have not come to see me. You have come for the artifact I managed to wrest from Tulak Hord before he died. Take the artifact, but be careful. I know not what it does, only that betrayal follows it everywhere.
It wouldn't be worth taking otherwise.
Just keep your eyes open. I hunger for the day when our power will be restored. We will meet again.
Do you have the artifact yet?
What do you think?
Of course. Brilliant. Magnificent. Hurry back to Scotia's, my chambers. I cannot wait to see this artifact. And I have a surprise for you.
What kind of surprise?
Trust me, you'll love it. Now hurry back with the artifact. I can't wait. Fantastic, apprentice. You're just in time for my surprise. Since you left for the Dark Temple, I've been reading and reading and reading. Scotia's chambers are a treasure trove of research. Now, who would have thought a man like that had such a curious intellect? It almost makes me regret that we had to kill him. But let me see this wonderful artifact you found.
It's right here. Have it.
Excellent. Magnificent. It all begins here, apprentice. But tell me, how did you manage to pacify the apparition?
Apparently, he was my ancestor.
Remarkable. A slave's lost ancestor turns up in the Dark Temple, and I sense your incredible destiny doesn't stop there. I've been studying Tulak Hord's artifacts closely for some time, and one glance at this one you've brought back confirms everything I've suspected. These artifacts will change everything, apprentice. You especially. They will make you more powerful than you could imagine. I have foreseen it.
What do the artifacts do exactly?
This artifact is one of 5 that together describe a peculiar ritual used by the great Tulak Hord when he conquered the Drummond system. Until I have all the artifacts, I cannot understand the full nature of the ritual, but I have foreseen that you alone will wield the ritual's power. The artifacts are scattered across the galaxy, Some hidden by Tulak Horde himself, and some wrenched from his hands by betrayers. Documents and Scotia's effects point to Balmora and Nar Shaddaa, but I will need to do more research to locate the other two.
It seems I'm always stuck serving others.
Nonsense. You are doing this for yourself, apprentice. I have foreseen the power you will gain. But first, I believe I mentioned a surprise earlier. If you're going to find these artifacts, you'll need a ship, and so I have ordered you one. All you need to do is pick it up.
For me? You're too kind.
Yes, you've earned it. You'll find your ship at the spaceport. Then, the galaxy is yours to explore. Don't forget to contact me when you reach each planet for more information on the artifacts' locations. Good luck, and good hunting.
Ababarna habens, Glaubena, ni in usakwai, usi terens apipao.